Today we're going to be using your previous knowledge of area to solve problems. To be successful, you're going to need to use previous knowledge of 2D shapes and their properties as well. You're going to need to use your knowledge of multiplication, and you're going to apply all of this to solve problems at the end of the lesson. So first of all, how do I calculate the area of this quadrilateral? First thing, I need to know what area is. Area is the space inside of a 2D shape, specifically a 2D shape, because the space inside of a 3D shape is called volume, and we're going to go on to that probably next week. So we're just looking at 2D shapes today, and the area is the space inside it. Next thing I need to know is what quadrilateral means. Now quadrilateral, my clue there is quad, is just a four-sided shape, or 2D shape, I should say. Okay, so to calculate the area of a quadrilateral, so the space inside of a quadrilateral, I simply take my height here and I multiply it by the base. So we can use that in a little formula as height multiplied by base. Now the height could be this side, it could be this side, and the base could be at the bottom or it could be at the top, because that side is the same as that side and these sides are the same as these sides. Notice today that I might have one line to show that those two sides are the same length, but if there are two different sides the same length, notice how I've done two little lines to show that those two sides are the same length and that my height is different to my base there. Okay, so let's have a go at a few of these then. First one I'm going to start with is my square. I know you can see it's a square because I've got these little lines telling me that all those four sides are the same length. So my height, this length here, must be 7. My base is the one that's given. Let's say it can be at the top or the bottom, is 7. So to calculate the area, I do height times base. 7 times 7 equals 49. So 49, and this time working in centimetres. Now I need to add a squared onto that. Because I'm finding the space inside, and I'm doing 7 times 7, that's the same as 7 squared. And therefore my units today will be centimetres squared, or for the next one be millimetres squared, or the last one metres squared. It will always be something squared. Let's have a look at my middle quadrilateral then. My height is 18 millimetres, my base is 3 millimetres, so 18 multiplied by 3, that's going to give me 54. So my area must be 54, and this time I'm working in millimetres squared. Right, last one then. My height here is 2.5 metres, my base is 6 metres. So height times base, 2.5 multiplied by 6. I can do that as 2 times 6 and then do half of 6, because 0.5 is the same as a half. You should know that from last week's fraction decimal equivalence work. Or I can do that in a column method, taking away the decimal point and adding it back in afterwards. Or I can multiply them both by 10 to get rid of the decimal completely. So 25 times 60. We'll calculate that and then divide it by 10 to make sure that I'm doing 2.5 times 6. However you want to do it, you should get 15. And I know that I'm working in metres this time, so it's going to be metres squared. Your task now is I'd like to have a go at task 1, calculating the area of all of these quadrilaterals, remembering that the formula for area is height times the base. Pause the video now, and when you're ready to move on to task 2, then press play again. Okay, so task 2 looks at some problems, and sometimes to find area, to visualise the problem, it is best to draw something, or draw the problem itself. So the area of a rugby pitch is 5,208 square metres. Now square metres is the same as saying metres squared. Yeah, it's exactly the same, probably just a fancy way of saying it, and a way to trick you slightly. The area of a rugby pitch is 5,208 square metres. So I am going to draw that. Let's draw a rugby pitch. It's going to be green because we're playing rugby. 5,208 square meters squared. A football pitch measures 108 meters long and 85 meters wide. So let's now draw that. Let's draw a football pitch. There's my football pitch. So 108 meters long and 85 meters wide. Now I want to know is how much larger is the area of the football pitch than the area of the rugby pitch. Area of the football pitch and area of the rugby pitch. So I want to know how much bigger is my football pitch, so this is my football pitch, compared to my rugby pitch. And as you can see, I've drawn them one slightly bigger, just to remind me that I should be expecting a bigger number for my football pitch than my rugby pitch. So, how am I going to go about solving this problem? I've got all my information, I've drawn the problem, literally drawn the two pitches, I've got all the information on my two pitches. How am I going to solve it? Well, it asks me to calculate how much larger is the area of the football pitch. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is calculate the area of this football pitch. Once I've calculated the area of this football pitch, I can then see how much larger it is than the area of the rugby pitch. So, to calculate the area of my football pitch, I'm going to do 108, I'm going to multiply it by 85. So 8 times 5, and that's 40. 5 times 0 is 0, add the 4 is 4. And 5 times 1 is 5. I need to make sure that when I'm on my second line, that I have my placeholder here, because I'm multiplying by 80, not 8. But because I have the placeholder, I can think of it as 8. So 8 times 8 is 64, carry the 6. 8 times 0 is 0, add the 6 is 6, and 8 times 1 is 8. Pop that in there. Okay. Just a quick reminder, remember when doing column multiplication, everything I've carried I've done on the lines, so now I don't add them up incorrectly. So 0, 0 is 0, 4 add 4 is 8, 5 add 6 is 11, 8 add 1 is 9. So the area of my football pitch is 9,180 meters squared. So now, I want to see how much bigger that is than the rugby pitch. Now what I'm doing is finding the difference. I'm finding the difference of these two pitches. And difference, thinking all the way back to October time, difference just means subtract. To find the difference, I need to subtract. So let's have a go at subtracting these. So 9,180 subtract 5,208. Oh, not happy with that line. Okay. 0 take away 8 doesn't work. It'll be minus 8, so I'm going to exchange from the next column. 10 take away 8 is 2. 7 take away 0 is 7. 1 take away 2 again doesn't work, so I'm going to exchange from the next column. 11 take away 2 is 9, and 8 take away 5 is 3. So the difference is 3,972 square meters. Your task now is to have a look at task 2 and 3. Now I have modelled task 3 for you. Task 2 I think you can do without. I think you can calculate that yourself with everything that is there. And all answers, as normal, I'm sure you've already seen, are at the bottom.